رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن دعا بدعوته واستنى بسنته وسار على نهجه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, my brothers and sisters, indeed I enjoin upon you and upon myself the fear of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala in a verse of the Quran is saying that وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala in this noble verse of the Quran is saying that وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ, whoever is conscious of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا, He shows him way out. That is, He shows him way out of his predicament. وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ, and also enriches him through means he never expected. And then he went further to say, وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ, whoever relies on Allah, وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ, whoever relies on Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala suffices for him. My brothers and sisters, indeed, what I will want to draw our attention to in today's khutbah are some of the teachings of one of the verses of the glorious Quran, precisely verse 25 of Surah Al-Anfal, that is Surah 8 of the glorious Quran. In that noble verse, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is saying, وَاتَّقُوا فِتْنَةً لَا تُصِيبَنَّ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مِنْكُمْ خَاصَّةً وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ. In this noble verse of the Quran, Allah the Exalted is cautioning us against something, and I believe it's something that can also relate to the situation we find ourselves today. So in this noble verse, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is saying that وَاتَّقُوا fitna, He say, protect yourselves from al-fitna, that is calamity. That is, fear calamity. Try as much as possible to prevent it. That is, try as much as possible to go into anything wrong or bad. Because whatever you do, that is, whatever action you take, has consequences. If you do good deed, it has consequence. If you do bad, it has also what? Consequence. So virtually, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is warning us, all of us, against involving ourselves in things that will result into problem or into calamity in the community. And He also told us the reason why we all have to take measure to prevent that. Then He said to us that لا تصيبن الذين ظلموا منكم خاصة. Not only those who caused it, that suffers it. My brothers and sisters, indeed, I know we are in a very terrible and tough situation. Yes, everybody is struggling to be able, or let me say most of us, yes, because no matter how terrible a situation is, there are usually those who benefit from it. So, but to all of us, whether you have something to benefit from it, or you are suffering, out of it. But we all have to collectively work against, anything that will affect that will result into evil in the society. Because Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala understands our community or our atmosphere or our world better than us, because He made it. And before anything happens, He knows. So He is not going to wait for it to happen before it knows, or He is waiting for a sign for Him to know. So he is talking to us out of what he has full knowledge of. He's not missing anything out. So if you listen, you rest. And if you refuse to listen, then we will continue to suffer. So he said, "La tusibanna alladhina zalamu minkum khassa." Not only those who caused it that suffers it. They say, "Wa'alamu," you should all know that what anna Allah, certainly Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala shadidul iqab. His wrath, is very, very severe. My brothers and sisters, indeed, within these few days, we've been reminding ourselves of the need for each and every one of us to take advantage of whatever blessing Allah bestows upon him, to see how he will ease life for the people. But if we all refuse, all of us will suffer it. And in most cases, nobody have control as to how it ends. Nobody, absolutely nobody. It's just like trouble. You can start trouble, but when it begins, you don't control it. So my appeal to all of us, the politicians, the civil servants, the businessmen among us and the businesswomen, irrespective of the category you belong to, try as much as you can to see how we can get out of this situation we are all in. Like I do say, no single individual have the power of what? Changing our situation. It is a collective responsibility. And as I keep reminding us from time to time, all of us are responsible for the damages. And until we all realize that, we will not get out of it. Those bringing policies and so on, they need to be conscious of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. They need to remember that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is going to ask them pertaining to whatever policy they bring. And those implementing it also need to be conscious of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. A day will come that they will answer whether they did what they're supposed to do or not. And those of us being affected by that, we also need to be conscious of our actions. Because like I said, okay, today take for instance, you will hear that there's protest here, protest there. It is not wrong for anyone to voice his opinion. It is not wrong for you to show, well, if you support something or you don't support something. You have that right. But what all of us must understand is this. Whatever step you are taking, the way it is wrong for those bringing policies to bring wrong policies, it is also wrong for you fighting the policy to fight it wrongly. Take for instance, in the course of protest, if you think the policies are right or wrong, if you think whether the way the policies are being implemented are right or wrong, but as a Muslim or as a human being, you have the responsibility of protecting your brother's property. It is your responsibility. If government fails to protect that person's property, it is your responsibility to protect your brother's property. So in the name of fighting, of showing you are not in support of what is done by those in power, then what do you achieve from burning your brother's house? What do you achieve from burning your brother's car? What do you achieve from milking those who are facing the same problem like you? Because we are hearing situation of sometimes some people trying to pass, some places being blocked, and people are asking them to what? To give something for them to be able to what? To pass. So what are you achieving by that? How are you going to change the situation by that? It's equivalent to, an evil person is fighting somebody whom he says is an evil person. And the person you are blocking to give you something before he passes a particular, he also doesn't have cash. How many people have cash? How many? So if you are blocking somebody to give you money before he passes, it's a question of he's in pain, you are causing him more pain. So my brothers and sisters, indeed, we need to talk to ourselves. We are not only to talk to those in power. Yes, a lot of those in power, like I do say to us from time to time, most of the politicians are not there to serve us. Most of them, that is the truth. So I am with you on that page. But yes, that does not mean there are those who are there to fight for you. That does not mean there are those who are there who are better than me and you. Yes, I do say from time, yes, we have some few politicians that are better than some of us here talking. Yes, they are there. Because the day you condemn any sector 100%, that means the same thing applicable to your sector. Because the way most of them are not there to serve, also most of us where we are not there to serve. Most of us where we are there to make money. We are not there to serve humanity. And that's what is suffering all of us. If we want to get out of this mess, until everybody in his own section understands that at least if he doesn't care about Allah, because as a Muslim, your own ultimate reason for doing anything is to please your maker. Okay, if you take yourself out of the religious circle, okay, bring it at least to humanitarian circle, at least as a responsible person, as a decent person, then at least you're supposed to understand that the ultimate goal of you doing anything is to what? To serve humanity. And that's why you who is also going to protest, if your protest is to make something for yourself, then you are going to also cause the same damage the other person is causing. So my brothers and sisters, indeed, my appeal to all of us, like I said, from top to down, is for us to change our thinking. Yes, we expect those in authority. Implement whatever policy you think is best for us. Sometimes, yes, we may fight you. But if you are sincere for Allah's sake, even if we fight you, you will inshallah succeed. But if it is not for Allah's sake, even if we don't fight you, Allah will fight you. It's simple. Leadership is not easy. Yes, you don't have to do things everything that people say do. Yes, sometimes you have to take a stand. But the question is, you ask yourself between you and Allah. And remember, you are going to answer before Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So that take whatever decision you think it is in the best interest of the nation, at whatever level, whether as president, whether as governor, whether as civil servant, whatever. But at the same time, be conscious of any action you take which harms the people, which you yourself knows it is not for Allah's sake, because Allah will not spare you. And that is why all of us have to come to our senses. That is, yes, whether, like I said, those in power and those of us trying to fight or complain of some decisions. We should also not do the same thing we think is being done for us. If we start destroying things, we are causing ourselves more pain. Or take, for example, any bank branch you destroy, before their service goes back to normal, even if the government change the policy, it will still take a while. And sometimes, if you are not careful, you are not helping yourself. Yes, after they will begin to send you alert that you cannot explain what alert it is. Yes, because yes, you will pay back. They have a way of making you, because when things are even normal, sometimes you get some alerts you can't even explain what charges it is. I mean, yes, sometimes you get alerts, the column where you have description, no description there, you only got the figure. And sometimes there are figures, if it is deducted, even if you know you are being cheated, you will not even waste your time to go and complain. If 25 naira is being deducted from your account, will you pay 500 naira to go and complain for 25 naira? Will you go and complain? No. You will sit down and you think it is just 25 naira. The only thing you will know, a lot of millions are being taken when you multiply by the number of customers that the amount is being deducted from. So don't cause yourself more loss. Like I'm saying, the policy or whatever, I don't know where the problem is coming, whether the policy, whether the implementation, the issue is most of us are suffering it. Even those of us talking are suffering it. If you cannot have not forgotten, I've mentioned in one of my khutbah. Yes, I'm on a journey driving my car. I have my money in my account, but I couldn't eat food because the only money on me was just 1,000, and I'm traveling a long distance. So I'm afraid of touching this 1,000 because I don't know what will happen to my car on the road. Yes, I took up. So the only thing I took was breakfast. But from that breakfast, I did not eat anything until Maghrib. That is when I got to my destination. So with some of us talking can understand the pain you go through. We can understand the pain we all go through. But that should not drive us crazy. It should not make us to harm ourselves more. We should channel our complaints or make move for changes that we want in a way that we don't cause ourselves more harm. So my appeal to myself and the rest of us is this: there is nothing for us to gain from burning the country. There is nothing for us to gain from killing ourselves. There is nothing for us to gain from seeing somebody's car on the road and burning it without even knowing who the person is. And most of those we want to fight, you can easily get them on the road. So when you are burning anything on the road, in most cases, you are either burning your brother's car or your uncle's car or your friend's car or your friend's car. That's what will happen at the end of the day. When you block the road to a certain level, yes, you are preventing some people who have health issues to be able to reach to the hospital. Or take, for example, we deal with a lot of children. We handle orphans. So by the time some of us are complaining, we are complaining about children that are not biologically born by us. Yes, few minutes I have to call the driver that he should move down to the school and ask them to release all our children. Why? Yes, the everywhere is looking somehow what? Unsafe. Yes, it is somebody who is alive who will benefit from the school. So bring them back home alive. They should suspend the school for today. So you see the problem of what? Of crisis. We all lose at the end of the day. So please, my appeal to myself and the rest of us is this: yes, we are in pain, but we should not inflict more pain on ourselves. We should handle the matter cautiously. And you should all remember, I know it's not easy, but remember that no matter what anyone does to destroy you, put your hope in Allah. Nobody can give you what Allah have not given you, and nobody can deprive what Allah have written for you. Don't put your hope in anybody. Yes, you have a world where today, if you put your hope on anyone, you are what? You are gone. Because most of those you relate with, they are for themselves, even your friends, even those you call your friends, because you won't know who are your friends until you are in problems. So some who run close to you now and you think they are friends, when there is nothing, you will understand that they are not friends. Some rush through close to you because yes, they make business through you. Some rush close to you because yes, they have problem, they talk to you, easily solve it for them. But the day you have problem, that's when you will know who are your friends, not when you don't have problem. So please, a believer put his hope in Allah. But that does not mean I'm telling us that don't do anything. No. Yes, you pray, but you act. But your action should be, reasonable, rational, sensible. You expect the leaders to take action, remembering Allah will question them. You also take your action, remembering Allah will question you. If you go for any protest, every action you do there, Allah will question you. I did not say don't go for protest, but I'm telling you, check every action you do while you are outside. It is your business. If you slap anyone who is not responsible for what happened to you, Allah will judge you for that case too. Just the way Allah will judge that person for you, then Allah will judge this one too for you. Because if you press somebody on the road and collect money before you allow him pass somewhere, Allah will ask you, what the money is for what? Maybe somebody gave him. He too didn't have. He begged somebody. And somebody what? Gave him 200 naira. Or 500 naira. Like I said, you can see a millionaire today. You ask, someone who can tell you the reality on ground. Yes, there are those you think they are millionaires. You think they are okay. They are also having problem like you. Yes, it's just like me standing now. Yes, if you ask me for 500 naira, I will tell you I'm sorry. Yes, as I'm standing. Just 2 minutes before I come. Yes, because the last one I have, there's somebody also who is richer than me, also asked me for money. Yes, he is richer than me. He knows he's richer than me, and I know he's richer than me. Yes, now I have the 500. He needs what? 500. So what do we do? Yes, I don't feel I need it urgently. I'm not pressed, so I pick my own, I gave him. Yes, okay, maybe I may drive car and you see me on the road and you say I cannot pass until I give you 200. And I don't have 200. You see the problem? So you may think, you are helping yourself or helping, at the end of the day, you are causing more harm. May Allah wa ta'ala guide us. Our leaders, may Allah forgive them their shortcomings and give and open their eyes to be able to know where they are deviating to come back to the path. And whatever we will also do to make them do what they're supposed to do, may Allah make it easy for us. So no matter the pain, may they not be source of destruction to the country or to us, and may we also not be source of destruction to the country or to any human being. أقول ما تسمعون أستغفر الله العظيم الجليل لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب وخطيئة واستغفر الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه أما بعد عباد الله أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل. My brothers and indeed, I will remind us of one of the sayings of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala in the verse of the Quran where he's saying وَاتَّقُوا يَوْمًا تُرْجَعُونَ فِيهِ إِلَى اللَّهِ ثُمَّ تُوَفَّى كُلُّ نَفْسٍ مَا كَسَبَتْ وَهُمْ لَا يُظْلَمُونَ. As a Muslim, as a mu'min, always remember this verse of the Quran. Allah is saying, وَاتَّقُوا, remember, fear, يَوْمًا, that day, تُرْجَعُونَ فِيهِ إِلَى اللَّهِ, the day you will be taken back to Allah. ثُمَّ تُوَفَّى كُلُّ نَفْسٍ مَا كَسَبَتْ وَهُمْ لَا يُظْلَمُونَ. And each soul will be rewarded in accordance and they will not be cheated. Each and every one of us must understand that every action of yours is documented. Every action, no single action that you do that Allah doesn't document it. So that's why any environment you find yourself can lead you to Jannah, can lead you to hell. Don't just say it's office. Don't just say it's road. Sometimes an animal may be the reason why Allah will put you in Jannah, not even human being. An animal may be reason for Allah putting you in Jannah, and an animal can be reason why Allah will put you in the hell. An animal. So what more of your fellow human being? What do you achieve from inflicting pain on your brothers? What do you achieve? It doesn't give you anything. But ultimately, remember, a day is coming. Whether you like it or like I usually tell us about death, don't waste your time. Don't gather people to pray for you not to die. Don't waste your time. As a smart person, prepare for it. Prepare for death. Don't prepare for staying, because nobody is staying. Nobody is staying. Whether Allah loves you or He doesn't, or He hates you, it will make you to stay. It will make you to extend your time. When your time comes, you will go. No matter how Allah loves you or how much Allah loves you, He will not love you more than the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if it is God consciousness, no matter how God conscious you are, you cannot be as God conscious as Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But that doesn't stop him from dying. And no matter how devilish you are, I don't think you will cross Firaun. So he is no more. And no matter how wealthy you are, read so many stories about wealthy people in the Quran. Inna Qaruna kana min qawmi Musa فبغى عليه وآتيناه من الكنوز ما إن مفاتحه لتنوء بالعصبة أولي القوة إذ قال له قومه لا تفرح إن الله لا يحب الفرحين. If all of us prepare for death, we will not find ourselves in this situation. Because sometimes some of us even messing things up on normal ground. We are those who are on normal ground thinking of grave more than this world. Yes. That is the grave, you are closer to it more than any other thing. If somebody is going to live for 60 years or 50 years or 60, 70, maybe somebody of 50, that means you have what? You have eaten more than one over what? If he's spending 60 years, if you are 50, what you have is 10 years. If you are going to be 70, what you have left is what? 20 years. And somebody who is 60 years, maybe if he's lucky, what he has is 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, maybe between 1 and what? 10. And you see the person behaving like somebody who is going to live for the next 50 years. So something is wrong with our thinking. So we need to change our thinking. We need to think towards, pleasing Allah first before pleasing anything. And if you put Allah back, then the next thing is think of humanity first before yourself. When you put humanity, you too will benefit. Just like somebody who is conscious of Allah, he will enjoy, and all those around him will enjoy. If you think of Allah, He will ask you to eat halal. He will ask you to take good care of your body. He will ask you to dress well. He will ask you, what do you want? He will ask you to do. قُلْ مَنْ حَرَّمَ زِينَةَ اللَّهِ الَّتِي أَخْرَجَ لِعِبَادِهِ. They say, كُلُوا مِنَ الطَّيِّبَاتِ مَا رَزَقْنَاكُمْ. Yes, He asks you to take, yes, sleep well. He says your eyes have right over you. Yes, you have wife, take care of your wife. You have children, take care of your children. So that is somebody who fears Allah. So he takes care of you, takes care of those around you. But if Allah is gone, so many things will go wrong. And anybody who only think about himself, if you think about yourself, you are destroying yourself. Because most of us, that's how we think. Like now, if all of us will think about the security of all of us, you who have 10 policemen guarding you, you won't need that number. Yes. Because you need the number because the level of insecurity is high. So if the common man have security, you, the big man too, will definitely have. So there are things you will not even need. Because they are not enjoyment. Like I used to say to my brothers, there are things when you see people with them, don't pray for it. Because if you see somebody in bulletproof car, don't pray for bulletproof car. Because what made him to buy the bulletproof car is insecurity, not comfort. Because if you see somebody moving with armed men around the person, it's what? It's not enjoyment, it's insecurity. And in most cases, that person doesn't have privacy. He doesn't have privacy. You have more privacy than him. You have more privacy than the person. That thing you have, he also wants. But fear doesn't make him to have it. He's losing something. There's one thing about life. You can't gain something without losing something. Yes. That's how life is. If you have a car, then you lose your money because you use the money to buy the car. Yes, you have security men, you pay them salary. You are losing your money. Oh, there's sometimes somebody will have to tell you where to go and where not to go. Except those who are bold among them sometimes will fight it. You can eat freely. That's the problem of insecurity. But you have people who are more powerful than them in the past who can sleep alone. Yes, you have Khalifa Umar bin Khattab who will go out of the town and sleep. Nobody standing with him. Because I have nothing to fear. And in most cases, secured places, go there in most cases, sometimes you do like this to find policemen. Yes, go and check. Some villages that are safe, you will see that for them to go to police station, maybe they will transport for maybe 1 hour. Because if you put police station there, maybe for the next 1 month, nobody is coming to police station with any case. Nobody is coming with a case. That's the kind of community we want to have. Loving one, united one. The one that will see you have no reason to fear you. You have no reason to fear you. But today we've created an atmosphere whereby we fear ourselves. May Allah Ta'ala save us. May Allah Ta'ala, the challenges we've all gone through, we pray Allah Ta'ala bring an end to it. And those who have some losses in their businesses, may Allah Ta'ala, recover their businesses for them, inshallah. And those who have lost one thing or the other as a result of this issue, may Allah Ta'ala save them out of the situation. And our leaders, may Allah Ta'ala guide them and make them retreat, take the right step that will, inshallah, bring peace to the nation, bring safety to the nation. And then Allah Ta'ala, our brothers and sisters who have faced one challenge, like our brothers in Turkey and other places where you have the earthquake, may Allah Ta'ala, those who have died, forgive them, grant them Jannah. And those alive, what they lost, may Allah Ta'ala bless it for them. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم اجعلنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا كربا إلا نفسته ولا دينا إلا قضيته ولا عسلا يسرته ولا عدوا إلا فتنه إلا عافيته ولا ميت إلا رحمته ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة هي لك رضا ولنا فيها صلى الله على قضاء عباد الله قم يا سيدكم رحمكم الله.